Sup boys, a bit of a different video today, and to be honest, I don't really like making a video like this because it's just an opinion piece and it's a bit of a hot take on the whole new update and everything. I've played it since Thursday, and to be quite honest, I started out just trying to like it and trying to enjoy it, and playing in a group on Thursday, it was good fun, it was enjoyable, but playing solo from Monday to now has just been awful. Like, I'll start with the pros because I think it's important to appreciate where Face Punch have done well here. First and foremost, hit markers being in the game. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that. I think they're a good addition. You know, the hit marker sounds exists. Why not have a visual? And it's toggleable, so you don't have to use it. Same with the crosshair. People have been using third-party crosshairs for the longest time ever. You know, it was an advantage that you could gain, and in Rust you'll take any advantage you can get. So for it to now be sort of organically in the game, I think is good, and I like the fact that it can show you when you're most accurate. The SAR is good, but it's too good. It's broken. At the moment I would choose a SAR over every single SMG and even an AK. Like, at range it dominates. You know, put an 8x on it, it's basically a better M39. I just think they've overtuned it a little bit, and it needs some work. The semi-auto pistol, that's good. I think it's now in a balanced place. It's certainly a gun you'd now consider picking up, maybe even researching and crafting, but you know, before it was the same as a Revy, it was useless. But I think it's actually decent now. And in terms of cons, there's just so many. My first one would be the sound. It sounds like somebody's shooting outside of your base, so you go out and they're like 200 meters away. And that is just not a very fun mechanic to play around with, because gunshots are essentially all around you but nobody's near you. So then you don't know whether they're 20 meters away or 200 meters away. And as a solo, that's very hard because you can't gauge whether or not you're safe or not, based on how far away the gunshots are. Visibility, it's just fucked. You get shot. There's aim punch. Even with aim punch turned off, it's impossible. Your screen shakes. It's fucking gone red. If you're cold as well, you can't see a single thing. I just don't understand why Face Punch is so adamant on making it so hard to see anything in their game. It's like, if you're too hot now, the screen goes fucking bright. If you're too cold, it goes pure like white and desaturated. It doesn't add to the aspect of the game that's enjoyable. Nobody goes, oh yeah, when I'm cold, I want to not be able to see anything. You know, if you're in the Arctic, you still see shit if you're cold. Same with if you're in the desert, you're a bit hot. Yeah, you might hallucinate a tiny bit, but it's a survival game. And people will always say, oh, you know, they're trying to make it more realistic. If it was a realistic game, I wouldn't be able to carry an inventory of MLRS rockets on me. And six M2s or something like that. That's not realistic. It's not Tarkov, and they're trying to make it Tarkov, it feels, and I just don't think it's very healthy. The silencers, they're getting nerfed, thank God, but what a joke they are. The main complaint is the recoil is just too easy. It's removed the skill gap, so now a 200-hour player can beam a 5,000-hour player, and I have nothing against that. But if a 200-hour player in something like CSGO could beam a 5k player, there's a problem. There is a problem there, because the fundamental basics of the game have been removed. Rust has never had a ranking system like a game like CSGO or Call of Duty or whatever. So the metric by which you gauge how good you are is often, are you able to use a gun very well? Are you able to learn the recoil and be able to beam somebody? And I'm totally against AK beaming at like 200 meters by UKN scrubs, but as a solo now, using a Tommy against a trio just feels completely useless, especially if they're using SARs or they're using Pythons, where I get shot and all of a sudden I'm looking halfway into the sky, my screen's red, you know, I have to recenter my aim. By that point, one of them's got another shot on me, and it's pointless. The MP5, it's a glorified custom. I will never ever research or use that gun now. It's pointless. The only time it's useful is like a 10-meter range. And I think the cherry on top is that it hasn't fixed scripting. If you go on YouTube and search for Rust scripts, there's videos where scripts have already been developed. The only thing that balances them is aim cone. So a scripter could now beam you slightly less efficiently. But for the rest of the player base, and it certainly feels like for me, using a Tommy which has insane bloom and aim cone is just not enjoyable, because at sort of 30 to 50 meters it feels useless. Shots you should be hitting because you're on target and accurate, you're not hitting. But yeah, you know, the devs are making some changes this Thursday. I imagine we'll see some larger changes as the monthly wipe comes in at the end of June. But I just needed to vent. I needed to say it somewhere, and you know, I'd love to know your opinions down in the comments. I don't think the game is done for, but certainly right now it is not fun to play. And I really hope that Facepunch actually listen to their community and try to make some beneficial changes based on the feedback they're receiving from, you know, players like myself. We're loyal. We've played the game for, you know, myself over 3,000 hours. To have a lot of that time robbed away from us, it just feels quite cheap, because they're doing it as a money grab. They're doing it to appease the streamers, the offline TV players, the new players that are coming from that. I'm all for new players coming to the game, but they need to also learn what was rewarding was that you got better at the game slowly. It's a hard graft. Rust is notorious for how hard a game it is, and that's what made it so enjoyable, was that the losses were the worst, but the wins were the very, very best. And I think that's been lost with the new update, because like I said, anybody can now pick up a Tommy and beam you, and you might just get fucked by bloom or aim cone. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know this is a bit of a hot take, but to be honest, it's just disappointing. Like, I don't think I'll put a video out this Saturday, because I just don't want to play. I'm not enjoying it. The game is no longer what it was. But yeah, that's my take. I'd love to know what other people think in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.